That is the last type in Protista is protozoans. Protozoans are again subdivided like based on their locomotory structure. Locomotory structure means the structure which help in their movement. Locomotory structure. The first type of protozoan is amoeboid. Amoeboid protozoa. Second one is flagellated. Flagellated. Third one, amoeboid, flagellated, ciliated. Ciliated. Fourth one, amoeboid, flagellated, ciliated, and sporozoans. Sporozoans. These are four types of protozoans. Amoeboid. Amoeboid, in them the locomotory structure is pseudopodia. Pseudopodia. Here P is silent, pseudopodia. And example for this is amoeba. You have seen amoeba. So this structure, it's called as false feet. It's not the real feet, it's called as false feet. This one. Okay, they just move by the movement of their false feet or the pseudopodia, and if this is present, such protozoans are called as amoeboid. Flagellated, as I told earlier, flagellated, their locomotory structure is flagella, as in case of trypanosoma. As in case of euglena, there we have seen in euglenoids, they have flagella like this whip-like structure. By the beating action of that flagella, the organism can move. So flagellated protozoans. Ciliated. Paramecium is example for this. Paramecium. So which is their locomotory structure? Cilia. Cilia means hair-like structure. Cilia means hair-like structure. So Paramecium will be somewhat like this, and they have hair-like structure like this. So this is cilia. By the action of cilia, they move, hair-like structure. And finally, sporozoans. Sporozoans are without any locomotory structure. Then why the name sporozoans? They produce spores. So sporozoans. Why they don't require any kind of locomotory structure? Because they are exclusively parasites. They are exclusively parasites. So they are dependent on other organisms for their food. Since they are dependent on other organisms, they don't require any kind of locomotory structure. And best example for this is malarial parasite. Which is that malarial parasite? Plasmodium, which gets spread through mosquito. Plasmodium. Plasmodium, which cause malaria. This is example for sporozoan. So these are the four subdivisions or subgroups in protozoans. Once again, I'll tell you, in Protista, the groups are chrysophytes, euglenoids, dinoflagellates, slime molds, and protozoans. So now we will move on to next kingdom, that is kingdom Mycota. Kingdom Mycota. Kingdom Mycota. Or you call fungi. Fungi or Mycota. These Mycota or fungi, one example is mushroom, which we can see very easily. Mushroom, some of them are edible. One more example you can give, yeast. You are very familiar with yeast, which is microscopic yeast. Yeast is another example for fungi. And these, they are adapted to different mode of nutrition. Most of them are saprophytic. Most of them are saprophytic, which depend on dead and decaying matter. Best example is mushroom. Some of them are parasitic, as smuts and rust. They cause diseases among plant. They live on them, and there are some fungi which live on our body, like ringworm and all that, which cause skin diseases. Okay, so they are parasites and they cause diseases both in plant as well as animal. Third one, some of them are symbiotic fungi. It's very interesting. Some of them are symbiotic fungi. What do you mean by symbiotic fungi? Symbiosis means it's an association of two organisms where both of them are mutually benefited without harming the other. Then which is an example for symbiotic association in fungi? I can give two examples. One is lichens or lichens. Lichens or lichens. You might have seen on huge trees, on the bark of the trees, white patches here and there, white or grey color patches. Those are lichens or lichens. What are those? Those are the association of algae and fungi. Algae and fungi. Fungi, what they do? They give shelter to this algae. And algae, which can prepare its own food, they provide food to fungi. And both of them, they live together. So this is one symbiotic association. One more example for symbiotic association is mycorrhiza. In mycorrhizal association, some of the fungi, they live in the roots of higher plants. Okay, they live in the roots of higher plants, and with the help of their filaments, these fungi, with the help of their filaments, they help the plants in the absorption of water and minerals. In turn, plant provide them shelter and even the nutrients to them. Thus, this is another, symbiotic association. So, fungi also live in symbiotic relationship. The body of the fungi is called as hyphae. They have thread-like structure. Thread-like structure called as hyphae, which further form the network, and you can also call them as mycelium. Hyphae or mycelium are the thread-like structure or the filamentous structure found in fungi. Now, again the question arises, fungi are helpful to harmful. Already I told you some of the harmful effects of fungi. That is, they cause diseases. Helpful, how they are helpful? One is mushroom, which is edible. Some of the mushroom are edible, some are poisonous. Okay, they provide us food. Then yeast, yeast help us in a process of fermentation. With the help of yeast, we can convert fruit juice into alcohol, in the preparation of alcohol. Similarly, in bakery it is used to produce various bakery products. They are used. Why they are used there? Because they carry out a process called as fermentation. So they are used both to prepare bakery products as well as to prepare alcoholic beverages. Now, fungi are again classified. There are classification of fungi, and fungi are classified like this: Ascomycetes, Phycomycetes, Basidiomycetes, and Deuteromycetes. These are 4 groups or 4 types of fungi. In the next session, we will study in detail about these 4 groups of fungi.